Bandwidth for this podcast is brought to you by Ideate Software. Be sure to check out all of their great Revit applications designed to increase your productivity. I have hit the button to start recording. We are recording a BIM Thoughts. And we have the fantastic, the marvelous, the way cool Dana DeFilippi and Carl Storms. What did I do this last week? I did data migration into dynamic sales from Nuforma. That is not interesting. I created a IoT thermometer for one of our studios so that we can measure how hot it gets when the air conditioner turns off, because things are coming off the wall and they're blaming the adhesive. No, it's I made it out of scratch from an Arduino and a
Gosh, you're
sensor
so smart, Bill.
and a SQL database and a web server. And then what else did I do? I drove to Irvine. That's not exciting.
Was that your first time back in the office?
No.
Well, that's not exciting either then.
I made users happy with their Macs in Irvine. Now that I'm the Mac support person, and we had 2 people quit last week.
Because you helped them with their Macs?
No, 2 people in ID quit. One guy got over his head, and the other guy just flaked out and left. He pulled a Gerben and threw all his papers in the air and said, "I can't take it anymore," and left. And then this week we have 2 accounting people leaving. So it is the Great Resignation. Have you heard that term?
I have heard that term, but that also just means that in 6 to 12 months it'll be the great everyone coming back Ignation.
Well, yeah. Let's see what else. There's a new Raspberry Pi that got released today.
W2.
W2. I'm waiting to order one when it comes available. I'm going to order 3 if I can, because I need one for my Raspberry Pi museum that's on the wall.
Just got one of each?
Yeah, I went and I found you. Are you ready for this? This is so nerdy. I found an original Raspberry Pi 1 on the eBays and bought it. And it shipped from the UK to me. And it was way more money than I should have paid for it. But I have one. And now I have a 1, a 2, a 1A, a 3, a 3B, both the 0s and a 4. And
so this is purely for a collection item.
Yeah, it's a collection item. And I've got a month. I made a piece of wood to hang on the wall that I stained, and I have them all mounted to this piece of wood. And then I have a dyno labeler. You know what that is?
Yep.
Yep. Where you turn the little wheel and click.
Oh, actually, Mom has one of those.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's pretty great, actually. She came up and she's like, "I'm gonna label all of your clear containers." And I was like, "Well, Mom, if it's obvious what it is, you don't need to label my coffee beans." And she's like, "No, yes, we do." I was like, you can differentiate like the semolina from, even though I can tell if you're dying to, you can put those types of labels on. But no, she wanted to do it on the rice. I don't buy multiple types of rice.
Really?
No, I mean I have like quinoa and rice.
You have quinoa and rice. What kind of rice? Is it just regular old white rice
long
you
grain.
find at the? It's long grain,
yeah,
but
just
it's
long
not.
grain. Yeah, it's
Do you
not
buy the same brand or anything every time, or just whatever's available?
Yeah, usually like the middle grade, mid-range price.
Yeah.
I don't go crazy.
As you do. So she labeled everything with her dyno labeler. It took her hours.
Well, I only have like 4 of them.
So
special fonts, like 5 different fonts, right?
Oh, she has some different fonts too.
You have different fonts?
I don't have different fonts. You can get them with different fonts.
Yours is real dyno level.
No, I don't have the vintage one. I have a fairly new one. I guess I have to get on the eBay to get the vintage one where you could swap the wheels out with different fonts.
Yeah, I've only used the all electric ones. I haven't. I've seen the old ones where you spin the wheel, but the one that we had at the old Imagine
I got it
office
right
were
here.
the electronic with a couple of different fonts.
And it has like the little cutter. Yeah, I hear you cutting it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go.
Look
and
at you
then cut.
wasting all the label material.
I'm wealthy now, I guess.
Bill and Elon Musk are right up there.
I did 0.40 is what I labeled. 40 cents. It's about what that label costs.
Well,
I
at
were gonna
least
say-
you equivocally know what that percentage is of your cost.
Oh, I don't know. I don't. Well, you could do the math. I don't want to.
That sounds exciting. You know what I did for excitement?
No, tell me more.
I created a BIM buzzword bonanza application out of JavaScript and HTML
No way.
and CSS. Yep. If
What
you
is-
click on that pretty little link that's right there in the chat,
That's
you'll
there
be
in the chat. That's
taken to
going
a
to be in the show notes.
There's
completely,
a chat in
completely useless website.
Look at that. BIM buzzword bonanza.
Mm-hmm.
The B squared.
Or
how many words
cubed.
did you put in here?
Well, you'll have to hit the button and find out.
Hit the button.
Until it.
What's my buzzword? BIM level 3. What's my buzzword? ISO 19650.
I got that one at the same time. BIM mandate 8D deconstruction. The cloud.
Now, is it 19650 or 19650? Or is it 19650?
There's a lot in here. Oh, wait. I just got back to the beginning.
Oh, there aren't that many?
No.
How many are? I think there's 30.
God, this looks so 90s, Carl.
Isn't that great, though?
Yeah. That is great.
Oh, and it's all JavaScript.
It's very like Lemmings looking. Do you remember playing Lemmings on the computer?
I do remember playing Lemmings.
Yeah.
That's a great actual, like, you can play it just with your regular keyboard. You don't have to have like a special mouse or anything like that.
What about Hamster Dance?
Never heard of that.
Carl, you've heard of Hamster Dance.
I have not heard of Hamster Dance.
Really?
No, it's true.
Hamster Dance. There it is. Yeah, and it just goes on and on.
To laugh hearing that, right?
and there's a bunch of hamster gifs on the page. That's it.
Nice.
And they're drawings. They're not real hamsters. They're hamster impersonators.
Well, when you're talking about the Wayback Machine and cool stuff,
yeah,
you got to get yourself a little turtle action.
Turtle action.
Turtle. Or if you're like me and you might know it by the name Logo.
Logo, yes.
Like that was the real first generative design tool that I used as a youngin on a TRS-80. 3 steps, turn left. Really? 4 steps, turn left.
Repeat I did
35 times.
I did logo programming on a tank, one of those toy tanks.
Oh, and then it would drive the pattern.
It would drive the pattern. And so my friend had one of those as well. And so it would have a fire button that would shoot a light. And laser would have been cool, but they didn't have those then. We would program the tanks, and then we say, okay, you can't shoot your light until 10 steps into the program, is what we decided. And then we would do the thing and it shoot. And if your tank got hit by the light, because we turned the lights out, your tank got hit by the light, you lost. So yeah, that's logo programming. I also programmed in my younger years on a Radio Shack Pocket Computer 4 with the cassette interface with 2 of those, a battleship game where each person was on their own computer and then sent the coordinates to the other one through the cassette interface.
That's pretty dope. I
that
did
was pretty cool.
My early programming on the VIC-20 with a tape drive.
Yeah. Yeah, we actually used the tape interface and amplifiers, and we would switch it from the wires from transmit to receive, or it wasn't transmit and receive, it was mic and ear at that point. So we'd swap those two, and then okay, hit receive. All right, yeah, I hit the transmit, and it would send the command over. So instead of us just saying A1, we would type A1 and then have to flip all the switches and the gears and the gizmos and then hit enter, and the other guy would hit enter and then come back and say miss or hit. But we were like right across the table from each other. But what's the point? Why would you want to do that?
It's not the destination, it's the journey there, Bill.
That's right. It was the journey. It was fun. How about you, Danny? You must have done something nerdy as a kid.
I played a lot of video games with my brothers.
Okay.
I didn't really like build anything. I actually was a kid, I guess it was pre-internet, so I actually spent a lot of time outside.
Did you?
Like an incredible amount of time. I lived right next to a dairy farm.
Oh, that's fun.
And so my backyard, essentially, I have some scars for sure from barbed wire.
Yes.
Because we would get through that fence and just have a great old time.
It's a good thing it wasn't electric.
Yeah, it probably is now.
Probably is. Well, you couldn't do that today. It'd be like, you can't play in there. You'll get the whatever from the poo.
Right. Yeah, no, luckily it's pretty easy to differentiate poo from cow pies.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the difference between poo and cow pies? I thought they were the same.
I'm sorry, mudded cow pies. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Yeah, no, they are the same thing. Just for
consistency. Yeah. So cow pie is dried.
Cow pie is dried? Yeah, I mean...
And you could huck a cow pie at somebody if you wanted.
Oh, God, that would be a really mean thing to do. Luckily, you don't run into many people into the cow pie, like the dairy farm,
Yeah.
It was like a very, very low, probably 150-acre farm. Just huge, gigantic area. That, yeah, I mean, it was actually between, my development and the local mall was the dairy farm. It shows kind of small town that I'm from in Virginia. And yeah, that's, it was like you could cross through to get to the mall, but it was very, very long and dangerous, and you probably had to cross some creeks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And cow pies. Landmines.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just walk around and get to the mall. Or ride your bike.
So I am actually currently playing Lemmings. We're going to share it to play online with you. You guys can play it. I shared it in the chat.
Okay.
It is such a great game. And I forgot how fantastic this is. So this is a lot what I did. I played a lot of Nintendo. But because there was 3 of us.
Games, puzzle solving, play once, Lemmings. Okay.
We would usually convince my parents to buy us a lot of the different add-ons and things like that. Like the duck hunt guns and the running pads and all that good stuff.
I had the duck hunt gun and played the duck hunt. And what else did we play a lot of on the original Nintendo?
Oh, speaking of original Nintendo, this has nothing to do with that, but the other day I was playing on my Xbox, which I get out every 6 months and dust it off. But I found this arcade game, and I don't mean as in an arcade game. It's a company, and I can't remember the name of it. Capicon. Anyways, you know the one that I mean. To make Street Fighter and all the things. But anyways, I'm rambling. They made an arcade. So when you download the arcade, it's an actual arcade. And in it are all of their games from the 90s and 2000s. And you play it in a stand-up arcade game. So when you're looking at the screen, you see the buttons, the joystick, you see the game inside of the screen. And it's the same 8-bit or 16-bit graphics. Yeah. But I was playing Ghosts and Goblins. I forgot how much fun that was.
What do you have to do with these guys?
You have to get them to that house.
Yeah, don't you know what a lemming was? They just follow you.
I have not played Lemmings.
Well, now you're gonna be addicted.
I used to play a game called Taipan all the time. That's an old TRS-80 game where you buy and sell goods in Asia area, like China and Singapore and all those places all around there, and you sell and buy stuff. That was a big game. Mario Kart, obviously. The best game ever created.
Mario Kart is pretty cool.
Mario Kart is very cool.
Well, actually, we also grew up with a few arcade games.
Oh, yeah?
Actual arcades.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
We had the sit-down Pac-Man.
Sit-down Pac-Man. Yeah.
Which actually my dad had retrofitted with a new computer.
Really?
Now it has like 15 games on there. I wish we had that when I was a kid.
I think that's cool, but I don't know if I'd like that.
Why?
I would like to have you sit down and you play Pac-Man.
You don't want other options, you mean?
Right.
I see.
I don't know. I guess I'm weird.
No. I mean, it's
what
just
about
nice.
Other Pac-Man?
Maybe you get tired of dying and losing at Pac-Man at the same level.
Maybe so.
You want to switch up and play Frogger.
If I had a bunch of the table glass that had the different games on it, and every now and then you switch it, and now it's not a Pac-Man table game anymore. It's a gosh darn it, I lost it. The name of the one I wanted, it starts with a T, Tempest. Then it becomes Tempest, or then you change it and it becomes something completely different. That would be cool, but then it'd be a pain to change it.
I just got 100% on level 5. Where are you at, Bill? Where are you at?
I stopped and I started talking to you again, giving you my full attention.
Full attention, I see.
Full attention.
Do you want my access code to get to my level? That's one great thing about this. What happened to access codes? Do you guys have access codes in newer games? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Everything's paid now. It's not like the good old days of down, down, up, up, left, right, B, or whatever that Contra command was.
Yeah, everything is get to the terminal of the game and type in something.
Yeah, and then pay $3.99 for it on your Xbox Live Pass. Yeah.
What are you playing?
Well, it's even like that. It's even like that with your phone games now, the mobile games.
Yeah.
Right? Where like to get to the cool features or to be able to, do that one extra button, you have to pay money because they don't give you enough credits to ever be able to buy them.
Right. Microtransactions. But you know what? Would you have originally bought the game for $20 though?
No. But I also won't spend 99 cents or $4 or whatever it might be on, microtransaction, if you will, on features of the game either.
Okay. All right.
I'm not that type of person.
So what's your go-to game now?
I actually really like the game Two Dots. It's a really, really fun puzzle game. It's kind of like Tetris in a way, or like
24 or 2040,
like block
2048,
collapse,
2000, or threes.
Two Dots.
Have you played threes?
I haven't played threes.
Yeah, that's an addictive puzzle game too.
I really, really like puzzle games. I'm like the type of person that likes Sudoku. Do you like Sudoku?
Yeah. I didn't really get into Sudoku that much, or Sudoku, or Sudoku. I got into, I don't think I have any games anymore on my phone. Isn't that awful?
Not really, actually. I mean, you tinker with so many
games
things.
On my phone.
Do you have computer games?
The game I'm playing these days is called Kerbal Space Program.
We talked about that. I was going to ask if you were doing any better in that.
I'm getting better at it. It's a tough game.
Is like a space simulation?
Yes, but it's like a real space simulation.
Like you are Captain Kirk.
No, like you have to build a rocket and figure out how to get it into orbit with the right amount of thrust and the angles and all that stuff. Yeah, and the rockets crash and the little Kerbals die, you feel bad.
Well, if you like stuff like that, and you like building the buildings and the BIM, you definitely have to try Townscaper.
Townscaper.
Yes, it used to be only on Steam, but they just put it out on. I think it's been on Apple for a while, but now it's on Android. And there's no point to it. You just create little pieces. You just click a button and it creates a platform, and you click another button and then it creates a house, and you can change the color, and then there's seagulls, and it's just kind of you just do stuff. And the graphic and the quality of it is pretty outstanding. So yes,
well,
definitely.
What games do you have on your Xbox or on your computer, Carl?
So the Capcom Arcade Stadium is the one where I played Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah.
I also have the Farm Simulator 19, where you learn to drive farm equipment. Pretty exciting. Go out and plow the fields.
Yeah.
And we also have the what are they called? The You Don't Know Jack people. So the Jackbox party games.
Oh.
Those are always entertaining because you can play like win, lose, or draw, or that type of things, but you can play it mobilely. So if I'm playing it on my Xbox with 3 people in the living room, there's a code you can send somebody, and they can join on their mobile phone anywhere in the world and be part of the game too.
That's cool.
So it's like those little party game things. So
yeah.
Jackbox Party, I think they're at like version 7 or 8 now. That's the type of
we
stuff.
We play Settlers of Catan board games.
Mm-hmm.
We play railroad game. What's that one called?
Train to Ride. Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride. I like Ticket to Ride.
Which version?
I like the 1910 version.
Where are you in the 1910 version?
In United States.
Oh, so you're just crossing like Route 66 and stuff.
Yeah, just everywhere.
Train.
In the continental.
That's the beautiful thing about it, right?
Yeah, and we like the 1910 version because the cards are larger because we're old. And the cards are real cards, so they're easier to shuffle instead of the cardboard ones. So it's worth the upgrade for the 1910. And we also play an old game called Acquire.
I haven't heard of that.
That is a game where you buy and sell hotels.
Okay.
And it is very cutthroat, and it's a lot of fun.
But so it's kind of like Monopoly. You're buying land to acquiring land to build on.
It's in a square quadrant kind of a thing. I think it's in a 10 by 12 thing, and you grab tiles out of the bag, and you have to play a tile, and then if you connect 2 tiles together, you make a company, and there's only 6 or so that you can make, maybe 8. There's 8 that you can make, 8 different ones. So once the 8 are made, you can't make any more. And then if you put 2 companies together, such as a tile that merges them both, then you have to pick the larger one, and that's the one that stays, and then everyone else gets cashed out. So it's quite fun.
Are you into board games, Carl? You and your wife play board games?
The mood comes and goes. When her family visits, we usually play. We play the ones that Bill mentioned. So we play Ticket to Ride. We play something called Code Names. Have you played that?
I love Code Names.
Code Names.
Code Names is great. And they actually have a 2-player version if it's just you and your wife.
Yeah. Board game. So it's like a card game where one person gives clues to the other person. You have to guess what they are, but without saying words. It's like a spy game.
Oh.
And Quirkle. We play Quirkle.
Don't know what that is.
I think I have Quirk. No, maybe I bought it for my nephew for Christmas. But yeah, that's actually rated really high. I should get Quirkle. It's
like a dominoes type of game. And what's the other one? Oh, there was one of them that was just on the tip of my tongue. Not Uno, but the other one. Phase 10.
Ghost?
Oh, Phase 10. Yeah. Have you ever played Rummy Cube?
I've played Rummy, just regular Rummy.
Then you need Rummy Cube or Rummy Cub. I've heard it pronounced both ways. It's like Rummy with an I, Kub. and it is a fantastic game that essentially combines Rummy and Phase 10 in a cube way, fashion. It's
And it
really
takes
fantastic.
6 months to play.
No.
That's the problem with Phase 10. Whenever we play Phase 10, there's always a bunch of us, so it takes forever to finish.
Oh, you need
Phase
to play.
10 is great.
You need to play the Jägermeister version of Uno, where when you get the reversi, you have to take a shot.
Oh goodness.
So
even I'm too old for that.
So what ends up, we haven't played in years, or in decades probably. But what you do is you save all your reversi. Everyone saves reversi. So as soon as one gets played, it's reversi, reverse. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's a good time.
No, I really like all of those games that you guys. I really, really enjoy board games, just in general. So Rummy Cube is definitely one that I play a lot. There's also this game called Seven Wonders that's really fantastic. It's like a more advanced version of Catan or Catan, where you're essentially assembling goods and resources so that you can buy other goods and resources. But very, very advanced. It takes a little bit of time to understand it.
I have got a great idea. Are you ready for this great idea?
Yes.
And we can make this idea happen because we have friends. When we finally do RTC, because it looks like Australia has a date now, so maybe the US will have a date soon. We're going to get our friends at ID8 to buy 3 or 4 Catan games, and we're going to have a Catan tournament or just a board game play.
That sounds really great.
During one of the
after
nightly
sessions.
After sessions at the one. Yeah. So
I think that sounds great.
I think this sounds awesome.
And I think truly, if you're into BIM, you're into puzzles, right? You're into games. You're into these types of things, whether it's Nintendo or Xbox or your computer or board games or arcades, whatever it might be, or all of the above.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that that's a great idea, Bill, for 2 reasons. One, it would be fun, and second, those 3 listeners that stuck through us on this technical difficulty episode all the way to the end now know to start practicing your Catan skills for when we meet together in Anaheim in June.
Anaheim.
Is it in Anaheim in June?
Was it officially announced?
It was.
Oh, no shit.
Yep.
Anaheim.
All right. Anaheim.
Yeah.
We're at it. Which Anaheim place?
Give me 1 second and I will tell you.
BILT.
I wonder if it's going to be the Marriott.
Doesn't say. It just says the 13th to the 17th of June, Anaheim, California.
Cool. All right. We are going to get our friends at ID8, Richard, to...
And Richard will be there. You'll be presenting on a few different Excel courses and all kinds of cool things.
Let's put in a course. Let's all do a course together as co-presenters as a board game session.
Let's do it.
Where during the session all we do is play a board game.
You know what?
I like that.
That's what this event is allowing us to do, right? Come together as a community. We need this. It's a team building exercise.
We're gonna have a board game lab.
I like it.
Where we do either we'll do Settlers of Catan, whatever board games ID8 gets.
All right, and I think that brings it full circle to the end of our Aubin Plus episode.
Our Aubin Plus episode that Carl is going to so enjoy editing.
It's going to be Tickety and Boo.
And I think the title of this one should be Not BIM Thoughts.
Not thoughts about BIM at all.
Technical difficulty and other fun stuff.
Yes. All right, I'm going to hit the stop.